Welcome to Energy Careers, a segment of the Energy Conversations podcast dedicated to exploring opportunities in the dynamic world of the energy sector. For 13 years, I've had the privilege of navigating this sector, and it has significantly shaped my professional and entrepreneurial journey. Join me as we uncover exciting pathways for those interested in making their mark in this exciting sector. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Energy Careers segment, a segment of the Energy Careers podcast where we spotlight the diverse career opportunities within the energy sector and hear from professionals across various disciplines. Whether you are just starting out or looking for some insights and guidance regarding your next career move, today's conversation will be an important one to be a part of. Today, we will be showcasing the energy journeys of Yershen Pillay, Amanda Dzivhani, Bertha Dlamini, and Wendy Poulton, who will share their experiences and offer advice on navigating the South African energy landscape. Let's dive into their pathways and hopefully be able to help you in shaping your next career move. I'd like to start off, Yershen, with you. Please, could you share a bit about your energy journey? How did you get involved in the energy sector? What did you study? And what has been your career path up until this point?
Thank you, Chukwueze. Well, for me, I did my Bachelor of Social Science and Economics at the University of Cape Town, and then went into the business administration field doing my postgraduate diploma and my MBA at Gibbs at the University of Pretoria, where I really went into a lot of the energy-related sector. Is at the chemical CHIETA, where our scope of work really has been oil, gas, and especially green hydrogen, with green hydrogen now becoming one of a sector that could really position the country as a global green hydrogen leader. And what I can say to especially the youth out there is that times you need to take off those dark glasses and put on the bright lenses of innovation, where you see every challenge as an opportunity and you go out and seize the opportunity. So we need to do a lot less talking and a lot more doing and doing things to the best of our abilities to seize the opportunities. Ultimately, we need energy independence and we need green hydrogen independence. And we can only achieve that if we seize the opportunities that are provided by the energy sector.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And I love that call to action of, you know, the sector's there, but it is for you as a young person to actually step forward and seize that opportunity. I was in a call earlier where we were speaking to entrepreneurs and trying to encourage them, but in essence, it was nobody is coming to save you. You need to get up and find that way to save yourself. We're able to give you as much information as possible. We can share what, all the different journeys that you can possibly be on. But at some point in time, you are going to need to take that very, very critical step. Amanda, I'd like to hear from you. Please, could you share your energy journey? How did you get involved in the energy sector? What did you study and what has been your career path up to this point?
Thank you, Togo. So I studied electrical engineering. And then when I started, I had just graduated actually when I met Anche and Vivian, who are the founders of Green Solar Academy. And I started off as an intern, sort of doing like the small odd jobs here and there. And then my role became a bit more administrative as time went by. And then as I grew professionally, then it became more managerial. Then I joined Anche and Vivian on the C level. So Vivian is the CPO, Anche the CEO, and then I'm the COO. And then I also studied, I did a course with VETS, project management, which I thought would be helpful for us, especially because we are wanting to do more projects that involve the youth. So it would be a good skill to have so that we know how to run the project properly and as smoothly as possible. Yes, so I would say that has been my path so far.
Perfect. That's a very exciting journey. And I think it also speaks to the fact that you can grow in this industry. It is a space that you can grow in if you find the right opportunity and the right organization that's able to provide you that nurturing environment, you can grow. And I think it's also important what you're highlighting, that even if you have now gotten the opportunity to grow in the sector, that continuous professional and personal development is so important. Keep studying, even if it's, a little course here, a little course there, but it all really adds up. Thank you so much for sharing. Bertha, if you could please share a bit more about your journey. How did you get involved in the energy sector? What did you study, and what has been your career path up to this point?
Sure. So my very first qualification after matric was a marketing communications diploma, national diploma in marketing from Cape Technicon. Now it's called the University of Technology, Peninsula University of Technology, I think. And I progressed in the creative space until I formed a partnership with an engineering consulting firm that introduced me to the world of energy 12 years ago. And 12 years ago, I knew nothing about energy. I couldn't tell the difference between renewable or non-renewable. And I worked with the most exceptional engineers who were highly educated. I then did a short course. It was called a 3-day MBA in energy offered by Terrapin that opened a whole world of the construct of the energy sector. I followed that up, of course, with a AWEaP at Wits Business School, PGDIP at Gibbs, and then I did my MBA at UCT Graduate School of Business, mastering in executive management. And my thesis was on gender mainstreaming in municipal electricity utilities. I then did a short course at Skolkovo School of Business in Moscow, Russia, on just energy transition, focusing on oil-rich countries. And that opened a huge world of possibilities in this space. I had a stint in the corporate world and went back into entrepreneurship, and I run African Women in Energy and Power and our consulting arm, which still interestingly delivers integrated marketing communication solutions as something that I do as a passion. I have 24 years experience in the area. And of course, I've become a global speaker and advocate on gender mainstreaming and inclusivity in the continent's just energy transition.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing. And I think, Bertha, one thing that's always what my favorite thing is about your story is that it shows that you don't need to be a STEM graduate, or you don't need to necessarily be an engineer to find your room here. And I think what I also enjoy about your story is that it is still a passion. It's still very much passion-led. It just so happens that your passion is lovely. It's nicely at the intersection of, communication, energy, and gender mainstreaming. And I think beyond gender mainstreaming, it's your passion for ensuring that the underrepresented are in fact represented. So thank you very much for sharing of your journey. And I really do hope that it encourages anybody who perhaps doesn't have the technical background to realize that this is an industry that is open for you. You just need to, again, put your hand up, put yourself forward, be willing to be uncomfortable. Be willing to be uncomfortable in the season of not knowing, but recognize that at some, that competence builds confidence. So you will never have the confidence until you are actually intentional about building that competence. And maybe then just to close off and hear, Wendy, just a bit about your story. Maybe if you could just please share a bit about your journey. How did you get involved in the energy sector? What did you study, and what has been your career path up until this point?
I started off with an honors degree in microbiology, and was working for a specialty chemical company that sold cooling water treatment, amongst other chemicals. And one of our clients was Eskom. And I saw a job advertised at Eskom in the research facility to do cooling water and microbiology related projects there. And so I joined Eskom. From there, I moved through a number of positions in Eskom. I moved firstly into environment from microbiology, which was a good fit for me, given my science background. And then from there, I moved into sustainable development. I went to America for a year to the Electric Power Research Institute to manage Eskom's contract there. And when I came back, I came into head office, more into the policy and assurance role of environment and sustainability. And then I also went back and managed research for a couple of years together with sustainability. And then finally, in my last 10 years at Eskom, I was the general manager for strategy, which was a nice progression because I understood the business from having worked in research in other parts of the business. But also it was a way of making sure that the sustainability issues were integrated into Eskom's long-term strategy. And from there, I got really involved with risk and strategic tools and things like that. And then I also I did a qualification at Oxford University on strategy and innovation. And then I understood, and I think it's an important part of any career, is that people are the ones that drive all the decision making around sustainability, around strategy. And so I did a coaching qualification and a master's in coaching to add on to my management qualifications that I had done at Fitz Business School, etc. Because I think if you don't understand people and how to influence them, you're never going to get them to change. So that sort of took me to the end of my career at Eskom, and then I became an independent consultant, as I was saying earlier.
Wow, what a beautiful journey. And I love how you really incorporated the different elements and aspects of you, and it's so beautiful to see how you can just weave in your different interests, your different passions, your different strengths to get to this point of, you know, doing purposeful work that I think brings joy to you. I think it's a beautiful and encouraging journey.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting how what I currently do does bring all those different aspects together, and they fit, which is the nice part, you know. So it's strategy and risk, how they interplay with each other, what sustainability means and all of that, and the people side is really my passion of how that works and how understanding that is really critical for moving forward as an organization.
So much, Wendy. Thank you so much for that really an exciting journey and the seasoned specialist in the sector. What I'd like to ask the guests, and maybe just a final quick one, and really this is, what is the one piece of advice that you would give to younger you who was at the beginning of their energy journey? Just bearing in mind where you find yourself right now in your career. If you had to go back in time and just give one piece of advice or say one thing to younger you, what would that be? Yershen, if I can start with you, please.
Well, I certainly think that, you know, I think our youth need to be more resilient and more resourceful, and also to have the right attitude as well. You know, I think, you know, if you're going to complain about, for example, you know, just not accessing opportunities because the email inbox was full, and you share that, as opposed to getting onto the website, Googling the right information, and just making sure that you get that application in, that you are resilient enough and have the right attitude to follow up on things. With that kind of resilience and resourcefulness, and with having the right attitude, I think certainly, you know, at some point in time, the wheel will turn, and you will certainly be able to be at your rightful place. So I think for me, it is about attitude, resilience, and resourcefulness that our youth need to really embrace. Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. Attitude, resourcefulness, and resilience. I love it. Amanda, what would be the one piece of advice that you would give?
I would say that stay informed, ask questions, and connect. I think we are, if we use it properly, I would say that we're really lucky that we are at an age where we have information literally on the palm of our hands. We are able to access lots of information just on our phones, a quick typing here and there, and then you understand, you get the information. So I say stay informed, ask questions, and connect. And connect in the sense that once you're interested in a sector, in an industry, we have platforms like LinkedIn. There's pages there that you can follow. There's articles that you can read. So connect with what you found to be your passion.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. And again, speaking to the fact that the information's out there, just pull out and try collect it. Bertha, what would be your one piece of advice that you would give?
So it's, I suppose maybe I have three. One is read as if reading was your oxygen. It is the only way you can gain knowledge. Read even the difficult journals and documents. Have the stamina to stay with the document until you understand it. Number two, build healthy reciprocal networks, business networks. Invest in good relationships in the sector. They will work for you in the same way that you work for them. Number five, or number three rather, have the courage to tolerate ambiguity. Not all answers come straightforward. Have the courage to tolerate the process and trust the process, and to tolerate ambiguity when things are not clear until you find the answers. Too often people give up, get overwhelmed, suffer from imposter syndromes, take the easy way out. Have the courage to do the difficult things, to sit in ambiguity, lean into it until the answer emerges and you can do it.
True. That was powerful. Have the, be able to tolerate the ambiguity. And I think that is probably such key and critical and powerful advice, because the reality is the journey in life, and I think each of you can share from your own personal experiences as you've navigated your career path. It wasn't always sure, it wasn't always clear, it wasn't always set in stone that this is what it was going to look like. And there must have been seasons, and there are seasons. I think we've all had that, where you say, but what now? You know, and I think what you've just shared there is absolutely powerful. It's to sit in that discomfort, sit in the discomfort, but in the knowing that this too shall pass, but that the ambiguity and the uncertainty of this season is there to teach you something. If you lean into, okay, I can't take the next step now, it's telling me to stand here. What is around me? What is it that I need to be paying attention to and focusing on in this season, so that I am then better equipped for my next, because the next will come. And what you do with that next and those opportunities that are presented in your next is really going to be measured by how well you waited and how well you dealt with the uncertainty. Love that. I absolutely love that.
Wendy, I'd like to close off with you. What is the one piece of advice that you would give to younger you, that you wish you'd been told all those years ago when you were joining the energy sector?
I think it relates to what I was saying about being a coach and understanding people, because technical knowledge is not easy, but it's certainly easier to acquire. And there are many avenues. But understanding and managing people is a journey of self-discovery, which is always hard, taking a good look at yourself. And when I did, and the way you perceived by others, which is oftentimes very different to the way you perceive yourself. And when I did my coaching course, I actually said there, wow, I wish I'd known some of these things when I was younger. And maybe it takes for when you get a bit older to actually acknowledge that and bring it into your thinking. But I think from understanding that, and it's led nicely into the work that I do in sustainability, is I think the thing that I would really have liked to understand in more depth is this power of co-creation. And that giving up your ego and having to be right or having to be acknowledged as the one that did this and working with others is such a powerful tool that they say the rising tide lifts everybody. And that is absolutely true. If you work together with people, you can harness that diversity of thought, that diversity of innovation that people have, and implement things that people can buy into because they've been part of the process. And as a manager, I really wish I had understood that a lot earlier in my career. And it's a lot of the work that I do today is around that, is how do you bring people together and use that power of co-creation and collaboration to systemically change things and not just superficially change things. And that's where a lot of my work leads me today, is the systemic transformation, understanding the complexity and uncertainty of where we reside and not being uncomfortable with it, being able to still maneuver within it and find solutions that work for everybody. So yeah, that's what I would definitely have told myself, is understand yourself and how others think and operate, and that will, and work with them in promoting change.
Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. And so true, because I think, self-awareness is probably one of the best or the most powerful powers that you can give yourself in your journey of trying to maneuver life, figure out careers, figure out everything that makes up you as a being. And it has also been, and I love what you're speaking about, and it ties back to your coaching work and the importance of working with and understanding people. And I think that's also where we can distinguish between, a leader and a manager, in that leadership is about bringing out those qualities and almost playing a symphony of the weaknesses and the strengths of the different people in your team, because you've taken the time to get to know that, to be able to harness all of those, all of their capabilities and be able to create, and as you've said, co-create something really beautiful, something really powerful that people feel a sense of ownership for, and people therefore easily have bought into it. And I absolutely love reference to the people aspects, because at the end of the day, in as much as the energy sector is quite a technical space and it's very easy to get lost in the technology, what we must remember that it is an industry that is driven by people, very different, very complex people. And as you know, people are just, we can be frustrating, we can be difficult, we can be all of these amazing things. But in order for us to really be able to drive towards a sustainable future and really, ensure that we are dealing with our challenges, we fundamentally need to be able to deal with people before we only focus on dealing with plants, power plants, so to speak. So thank you very much for that wisdom, and thank you very much for those gems. And that really brings us to the end of this segment of the Energy Careers podcast. And I'd like to again thank all of our guests for being part of this recording and sharing so freely of their journeys. Thank you very much.
Thank you for tuning into Energy Careers, where we explore the endless possibilities in the energy sector. Don't miss out on future episodes where we'll feature more inspiring journeys and insights on how to embark on your own energy career path. Subscribe now to the Energy Conversations podcast and unlock the door to exciting opportunities in the dynamic world of energy. Your journey begins here.